cut him, he gon' bleed a lot. We the Israelites, the ones you always read about. Scriptures heavy as a cement block. We the righteous nightmares on the Edom block. If we cut him, he gon' bleed a lot. We the Israelites, the ones you always read about. Scriptures heavy as a cement block. We the righteous nightmares on the Edom block.
I love the book of Obadiah, he killing Esau. Fight up his heart, put him in chains, and that's all he saw. Ain't no going back and forth, this ain't no seesaw. Them chairs coming from the sky, he gon' see y'all. All praises to Yahweh, Babylon gon' burn. Hopefully I did enough for my spot, it was earned. Every day we hit the streets so our people can learn. Teaching the truth about this life that our nation deserve. Set a nigga up with scriptures, it ain't no debate. I'm living life and it's true, why these niggas be fake? It be funny when they say them.
I like to say, call Allah, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. We are the sect of SICARII. We out here week in and week out, right here on 16th Dimension, to let blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans know that you are the people of the Bible, you are Israelites, and come back to your heritage. And once we do that, we can at least start to come together and start seeing some progression. Right now, I'm gonna talk about Esau, somebody that's stifling it. And it's so bad, us Israelites, we hard headed. And sometimes, I gotta believe the white man sometimes. We mess it up for ourselves. I hate to say it. We mess it up for ourselves sometimes. Most of the time. That's why we in this predicament. And we've got to come together and understand that we all have a common enemy also. It's not each other. We fight each other for so long that we even forgot who the true enemy is. And we sit there, and it's real easy because we're not around that person. We're talking about Esau. It's real easy if you're around your own people all the time. So that's why we have black on black crime, but they also have white on white crime. People fail to realize, because they're around each other. But the real enemy is Esau. It's not your black and brown folks that's living next door to you. And we have that mentality because we push it ourselves. If you listen to the music or watching the movie or these reality shows, a lot of times we fake, they perpetrate hate because it sells. But the only person getting money off of it is Esau. And if you don't know, Esau is the white man. I'm gonna get into that too. Because as you know, in the Bible, we have different nations. They might not be called that right now, except maybe the Ethiopians. You might still see their name. You'll see their name in the Bible, but a lot of like Ammon, these people are still around. Moabites, they're still around. They're just called by a different name. They didn't disappear. So when you see Edom or Esau, these people are still around. And they have a judgment. All these people have a judgment. But we're going to talk about Esau and see who he really is. Let me get
This is Psalm chapter 83, verse 1. Keep not thou silence, O God, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
So these folks have created a tumult that loud. They've actually created crafty counsel, meaning they got like think tanks. You don't know these days. They spend millions and millions and millions of dollars on how they can keep money in their pocket and at the same time make you poor, desolate. So they get real crafty. They say, oh yeah, we're gonna give you free housing. But they didn't tell you that it's got asbestos in the building, mold, and drinking water is tore up, and everything else is infested with roaches. But yeah, we gave you free housing. You living over power lines, now you got cancer. So they get real crafty because they say, hey, we can't do nothing with this land. Let's try to make some money off of it. So they say, oh, and that's Esau. Because as you know, blacks, browns, and Native American folks, we don't really own too much land to where we can build housing or supermarkets or stadiums. They took the land from the natives, so they really ain't got land and subjugate them to a park, basically. It's sad.
Verse 3, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people, consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
See that nation right there, they said, let's cut them off. Let's cut them Israelites off. Let's cut them off. We don't need them to be no nation. They come together, it's too powerful. Like we had Tulsa, Oklahoma, they burnt that down. Philadelphia burnt it down, bombs. So Israel, as us, our native brothers, our Latino brothers, if we come together, we're very, very powerful. Which happened in the jails before when we came together and went against Esau, and we became to run the jail. And they shut it down. Lockdown. Y'all too powerful. But when we come together, we're something to be reckoned with. And we fail to realize that.
Verse 4, they said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. But they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, and the inhabitants of Tyre.
See, we got Edom right there. And you got Amalek, which is kind of crazy because, as you know, Edom will try to Esau, or the modern white man, your white man that we know, he almost divides himself. They get really crafty. That's when they get crafty. So now they English, German, French, Dutch. I'm not white, I'm Irish. Oh, you're white. But they get crafty like that to try to throw you off. To let us know, oh, that wasn't my people. That was the Dutch that did that. But as you can see right here in this book, it ain't splitting them up like that. Just eat them. Then they call themselves Amalek, so they Japhites. And Shem, they both, they so confused, they try to confuse us. And we fall for it.
Genesis chapter 25 and 23. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
See, right here, we're getting into Jacob and Esau. It was 2 nations in the woman's belly. 2 different manner of people. So right there, we're going to distinguish that these 2 people were quite different from each other. And it's stating that right there. And we're going to keep going. It's going to be reiterated. But these people are different.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger.
Right there. The elder, that's prophecy. Right now, we're serving them. It's sad. So, but Jacob and Esau were 2 different nations, but they both had blessings come. So we're going to get into Jacob's blessing.
Genesis 27 and 27, let's start 26. And the father Isaac said unto him, come near now and kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him, and he smelled the smell of his raiment, A blessing is said, see, the smell of my son is the smell of the field, which the Lord hath blessed. Therefore God give thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth and plenty of corn and wine.
See, Jacob was going to get the fatness of the earth. That right there, we're going to have, we're supposed to have top-notch cattle, gold, everything off this earth right here is ours.
Verse 37, and Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants. With corn and wine have I sustained him, and what shall I do now unto thee, my son? And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said to him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing where his father blessed him.
You get that in the message. It reads a little better in the message. Yeah.
So, as you can see, we're going to get into the message also. Esau was promised the fatness of the earth also. If you don't know, these boys, when they always go to Baghdad, they want oil. These guys want money. If you didn't know, the Russians, remember I was talking about how the white folks like to separate themselves. Russians, oh, they got a lot of oil, a lot of diamonds. Matter of fact, I had read if they had opened, if Russia has so many diamonds, if they flood the market, diamonds are worth nothing. Literally. Esau is scamming the world. Deceivers. They have you thinking diamond is so precious. They got it. You go to a ring store right now, probably for a carat, little piece, maybe $2,000. Russia has so many. If he let them out, if Esau let them diamonds out, it'd be $1 for a diamond. That's how they controlling the world right now. On simple things.
I'm reading the message. Genesis 27 and 36. Esau said, well, let me start at 34. Esau, hearing his father's words, sighed violently and was greatly and cried to his father, my father, can you also bless me? Your brother, he said, came here falsely and took your blessing. Esau said, not for nothing was he named Jacob the healed. Twice now he's tricked me. First he took my birthright, and now he's taking my blessing. He begged, haven't you kept back any blessing for me? Isaac answered Esau, I made him your master, and all your brothers his servants, and lavished grain and wine on him. I've given it all away. What's left for you, my son? But don't you have this one blessing for me, father? Oh, bless me, my father. Bless me. Esau sobbed inconsolably. Isaac said to him, you'll live far from earth's bounty, remote from heaven's dew. You'll live by your sword hand to mouth, and you'll serve your brother.
See right there, the key word is that sword. And he's gonna serve his brother. See, Esau's real crafty. He lost his birthright. Right out, straight up. With some soup. That's how pathetic it is. It's petty. And then the sword is what he's gonna live by. The sword. And that's what, if you don't notice, that's what Esau lives today by.
Right.
Name any nationality, any nation that you would know that's caused so much havoc more than the white man. Can't name one. Can't. Everything they touch, everywhere they go, everywhere they go, they create havoc. So when you start looking and say, oh, who's Esau? It can't be the Japanese, man. They ain't running nothing. It can't be the Indians over there, the red dot. It can't be the Chinese. The Chinese are trying, though. It can't be them, because they weren't conquerors like that. They were not colonizers by nature. Now, these European countries, all these white folks that we said they separate themselves, are colonizers. So it's real easy to say Esau is a white man. And we're going to keep going. We got bullet for bullet for bullet for bullet. To a point where you be like, damn, Esau is the white man. And he's treacherous.
Psalm chapter 73, verse 5, they are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Therefore pride compasses them about as a chain, violence covereth them as a garment.
See, pride. The white man is hell of pride. And they wear this stuff like a garment, violence. They are very prideful. They're so prideful, Esau's so prideful that he'll create a disease to kill people and have an antidote and brag about it. Say, oh yeah, we just annihilated such and such people, or we just created a cure for these people, but you created something to destroy and kill people, like Ebola, and all these other diseases the United States Army has. It's so bad, they had what the Tuskegee experiment where they gave soldiers syphilis to see how it would react in the human body and how it would go untreated. That's some treacherous. I mean, who's that evil? Esau. To where he given, and it's even and it was done to Judah, the southern kingdom mostly. The natives got it too. But what's cold is their own citizens. Esau wasn't even doing it to people in other countries. They doing it to the people that's in their own backyard. You gotta be real hateful to do something like that. To the point where you say, hey, we got citizens, our own citizens, let's do it to our own citizens. Who even thinks like that? You wouldn't see the Chinese do that to their own citizens. They'll say, hey, we gotta do this to the Americans, or we gotta do this to somebody else. Even the Hamites, the Ethiopians, and everybody in Kush and all over there, the Sudanese, you wouldn't even see them do it. The Arab man, Ishmael, you wouldn't even see them do it. And they crazy. They walk around with bombs on their back. They blowing each other up just to blow you up. But they're not gonna do it to their own people.
Verse 7, their eyes stand out with fatness, they have more than heart could wish. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression.
See? They got the fatness, they got everything. They got the new cars, best schools. They sitting there fat. Got everything. Read it again.
Their eyes stand out with fatness, they have more than heart could wish. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak lawfully.
They speak weakly about oppression. They want to oppress you. That's their nature. And the reason I'm bringing this up because these are like characteristics that you would only find from Esau, from the French, from the Dutch, from the Germans. They want to oppress. From the Spaniard, the Portuguese, the Russians, the Slavic states. Wherever you find these people, they want to oppress you. For some reason, we don't even see that. We sympathize with this person or with these people. Say, oh, they're not all bad. You're going to try to find out what Muhammad Ali said. What did he say about the snakes? I ain't going to find out. Yeah, I ain't going to find out which one cool. Come on now. And they really out here like snakes. They plotting on us. And they live, like we had said earlier, well, we stated earlier, his blessing was to live by the sword. And that's what he does. If you look at military might, you would look at Russia, United States is basically having one of the strongest militaries in the world right now. And they live by that. They conquer other countries by using the sword, which would be like a tank or nuclear weapons now. They got sophisticated bow and arrows now. And it's not too many other nations that you see that actually live by the sword. Other than protection, they're not using it to go out and conquer. China has the strongest navy right now. The biggest one. As you can see, they're going to use it. They didn't got good with Russia now. So even they like, hey, they even know something to get with these white folks. Because, as we know, the white man is evil. He spreads evilness. Let's talk about his wickedness.
Oh, the white man?
Yeah, you white, right?
The black and white, all
You white, right?
All people
You white, right?
Black,
You
green,
white, right?
brown,
You white,
all
right?
people sin. Even black, playboy, brown.
You white, right? Let's talk about Esau's sin.
All people sin,
Let's
right?
talk about Esau. You would be considered an Edomite.
I believe in Jesus Christ.
What?
I believe in Jesus
You
Christ.
can believe all you want. You still Esau.
He's my boss.
You still Esau.
He's gonna make us your
How do you know that?
He's gonna make us your boss.
Right.
You can't say anything. First time you met me, how do you know if I'm Edomite or whatever?
We've seen you for years.
No, not him, though. He don't know.
He's been around for years. What are you talking about? We've seen you for years.
Right. Hey,
You're an Edomite, sir.
it's unfortunate that I have to be white and you have to be black.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
Unfortunate.
What?
It's very fortunate for us. It's fortunate for you.
What? It's unfortunate. I said it's
He knows
unfortunate.
better. He knows better.
I know.
It's definitely unfortunate for you. It's God's gonna destroy your people for the wickedness.
I should say fortunate. Whatever race you are, we thank God. All right, gotta go.
So it's unfortunate that we're black.
Oh my God.
That's very racist. Sir.
Extremely.
Very racist. That's crazy.
I said me too, black, white.
So that's an abundance of his heart.
Right.
He spoke that is abundance of his heart. It's unfortunate that you're black.
Unfortunately, I'm white.
He literally just said that.
But unfortunate still.
Crazy. You're fortunate.
Wherever we are, we're still fortunate.
How
Whatever
are you
race.
fortunate? Jesus doesn't love you. He didn't die for you.
He didn't die for me?
Absolutely not.
Oh, you're false.
Right. You know you can't deal with
He
it.
died for all people.
No, he didn't. Where does it say that in the Bible? Here's the Bible for you.
He died to give us
Can
opportunity.
you read it? Can you read it for us? Here's the Bible. Can you read? Go to it and read it. Go to it and read it. Here's the Bible. Read that for us, please. Open the Bible and read it. Read where he died
Hey,
for
no
everybody.
disrespect about the unfortunate.
No, it's not a problem.
I
Read what you
made a
just said out the
mistake. Show
Bible.
us.
Open the Bible and read what you said.
You show us. Now you know what's up.
Can you? Why'd you say it? Can you prove it? Can you read the Bible and prove it that Jesus died for everybody? Can you read it?
He died for me.
Can you read it for us?
He died, he gave everybody a chance, but not all people will come to
Can
him.
you read it for us, sir?
No, I don't know where
What's
it's
your
at.
name, sir?
Rodney.
Rodney? Can you read it in the text?
Show me, you know what.
All right, let's just show him.
You know the Bible better than I do.
Let's get Matthew 1 and 21, and then let's get Matthew, was that 15:24? Just real briefly. You've been coming up here for a while. You know what we are, right? You've been coming up here for a few years.
Yeah.
And we've been dealing with you cordially.
Or,
You
yeah.
know, we ignore you sometimes because
Yeah,
you
yeah.
interrupt a lot. It's rude. So that's the main reason why we ignore you. But we can dialogue about the Bible. We learn the
You don't
Bible.
love me, right?
Absolutely not. We don't love you. No,
Oh, you don't love me?
no, absolutely not. Go ahead.
See, that's why you got to
2021.
strong. First of all, we're to love all people, even our enemies. We're supposed to love
Oh,
all
really?
people. Yes,
Oh, really?
we are.
Did Jesus love the Romans?
He said, love your enemies.
Did Jesus love the
You
Romans?
don't even know your Bible. Love your enemies.
Okay, who was he talking about?
Love your enemy, but you gotta still love me.
Was that who he was talking about?
You might disagree with me.
Did Jesus love the Romans?
He loved all people.
Just prove it. Let's read.
The book of Matthew, chapter 1 and verse 21.
Bring it out.
And she shall bring forth a son,
Mary.
and thou shalt call his name Jesus.
Read on.
For he shall save his people.
No, all people.
He shall save his people.
Who are his people? Read it again.
And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call him Jesus.
Jesus, read.
For he shall save his people.
Whose people?
His people.
No, all people.
His people.
The whole world.
His people.
Who are his people?
What is that? Matthew
Matthew 1 and 21.
1 to 21?
Chapter 1, verse 21. Read it again.
Let me read it. Let me read it.
Matthew.
Yeah, please read it. Let's wait for him. Let's read it.
Let me read it.
Read it out loud. Can you read it out loud for us?
Matthew 1, verse 21.
Yeah, just read it real quick. Read the whole thing again. Go ahead.
Let me read it, man. I want to read it myself.
Don't take long. We got to read the Bible for ourselves too.
Matthew 1, verse 21. Okay, I got stuff. Okay, ESV, that's English something, ESV Bible.
English Standard Version. Yep.
She will bear a son, and you shall call his name Jesus, for he shall save his people from their sins. She will give birth to her son, and you are to give him the name Jesus.
So who's his people there?
Who's his
Save
people?
his, he says his people from their sins. Yeah,
Yeah, who's that?
yeah, I got to figure it out.
Oh, you gotta figure it out now? Do research.
I'll let you win, man. I'll get back to
You
you.
didn't let me do anything. You said I didn't know the Bible. I told you, I read a verse, one verse. I didn't read the rest
The
of the verse.
Bible, but not all the Bible. You missed a
Sir Rodney. You said Rodney, right?
You know more the Bible.
Rodney, you told me that Jesus Christ died for everybody. I read one verse, and you lied about Jesus. I told the truth about Jesus. So why don't I know the Bible, and you know the Bible?
Well, let me do the research on this. I'll get
Wait a
back to
minute. You don't have to do the research. You answered it. You already answered it. His people are the Israelites.
Right.
Not everybody. It's that simple.
I gotta go.
Why are you playing the game? Of course you gotta go. Damn devil, read.
Book of Matthew, chapter 15 and verse 24.
Bring it
That
out.
was fast. that was the fastest dagger. Let out fast, bro. That was crazy. Read.
Unfortunate.
But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
But Jesus said that was all right. Not simple, so I'll see out of Israel. Now he said something about loving his enemies. Give me that in Luke. Was that 19? Or Luke 17? Where is
It's
it?
19.
Yeah, Luke 19.
1927.
Yeah, exactly. Gotta bring these things out more. So we gotta love our enemies now. Let's see what Christ said about enemies. This people want to, it's a parable. Yes, a parable. But who's in the parable of? It's about himself and the future kingdom to come. Read.
Luke chapter 19 and verse 27.
Bring it out.
But those mine enemies,
Those who?
Those mine enemies.
Christ's enemies. Read.
which would not that I should reign over them,
That's the one me to read over him as king. Read.
bring hither
Bring them here and do what?
and slay them before me.
No, love them.
And
Slay them before me.
No, you gotta love your enemies, sir.
And slay them before me.
He didn't stay for that. His head was rolling away from the first dagger. Christianity's a hell of a drug, and he is high every day.
Unfortunate.
Unfortunately, you are in Christianity. And you said everybody can sin. Now, everybody can sin, but there's universal sins that God is like everybody to do. As far as the commandments and the covenant that God is in with Israel, he's not worried about that with Esau. Give me that, I think it's what? I think it's Second Maccabees 6, I believe it's 12. And then give me Wisdom of Solomon. Give me Wisdom of Solomon 12 and 22. And the Second Maccabees 6 and 12. Real quick. And I'll give it back to you. That dude, we've been dealing with him for quite some time, like I said. And if you've been watching the channel for some years, you'll recognize this guy stumbles upon us interrupts us every now and then. He yells out his old regurgitated rhetoric. But this time, I'm like, let me just dagger him real quick. You know what I mean? We'll be solving 12 and 22. If I remember correctly. 12. And some of this, one of these verses, it's second entrance verse, actually. Give me that, is it 6? No, Maccabees, second Maccabees, that's what it's like. Second Maccabees. 6 and 12. Go ahead.
Second Maccabees, chapter 6, verse 12. Now I beseech those that read this book, that they be not discouraged of these calamities, but that they judge those punishments not to be for destruction.
Our punishments are not to be for destruction. It's for what?
But for chastising of our nation. But for chastening of our nation.
But for chastening of our nation, for correction. We went against the grain, we sinned against God in the covenant. So guess what? Exactly what he pronounced to us is what happened to us. Even from back then till now, we're in captivity, away from our land, subjugated to these damn devils. But guess what? It's not for our destruction. Most likely destroyed us in the last 600 years. But he's preserving his righteous remnant, like the Jewish would say, the righteous remnant, that like the 144,000 and the 1/3 that's going to be recycled and regenerated until the kingdom comes. They're the ones that are going to always be back, living righteously, preaching his word. Go ahead.
Wisdom of Solomon.
Read that again. You keep reading that. Keep reading down. Go back down.
For it is a token of his great goodness.
Token of Most High Yahweh's great goodness, that he didn't destroy this for our wickedness, but chastise us instead. Keep reading.
When wicked doers are not suffered any long time.
Yeah, he's not allowing us to just run rampant with sin. When you do wickedness, you're going to get judged immediately. Read.
But forthwith punished.
But forthwith punished. You get punished as soon as you do a crime in God's eyes. Obviously, in America, it's a little bit different, but we're still being chastised and we're still behind enemy lines. Read.
For not as with other nations.
Not as with other nations, Edomites especially. Read.
Whom the Lord patiently forbeareth to punish.
He what?
The Lord patiently forbeareth to punish.
Forbearance means forbearance is like putting something on. The Most High is forbearing punishments on his other nations, because his prophecy has been fulfilled, mainly the elect getting sin. Read.
Till they become to the fullness of their sin.
Yeah, they're going to get punished once they come into the fullness of their sins. That's why it says in Revelation about Babylon, the mother of all harlots, of fornication, things like that, wickedness, that the sins have to reach the heights of heaven, metaphorically. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
So dealeth he with us. Lest that being come to the height of sin,
if we came to the height of our sin, read,
afterwards he should take vengeance of us. And therefore he never withdrew his mercy from us.
Yeah, even though we got chastised every time we did wrong, he didn't take his mercy from us. Meaning what? He's not going to leave us out to dry. He ain't made a covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob that we're going to be redeemed out of this place once we come back to our heritage, all the commandments, and keep the laws fervently in these last days. The other nations are going to get a bill and a tab ran up that they can't pay for. That's the difference. There's no mercy on them in the future. Read.
And though he punished with adversity, yet doeth he never forsake his people. But let this that we have spoken be for a warning unto us.
Read on.
And now will we come to the declaring of the matter in few words. Eleazar, one of the principal scribes.
Where you at? That's all I want. So that's the point. Our people are going to get punished quicker for their wicked doings. Even in America, it might not seem that way, but guess what? The Most High knows exactly the timing where he's going to judge you. Whether you lose your job, lose your family, lose your health. You see what I'm saying? All that's part of the program of the Most High, and it can be a negative attribute to your wickedness in the past. Other nations, hey, they might get away with things. Some nations, or some individuals amongst the nations might go through certain circumstances, calamities. But overall, we're not going to get destroyed until the buttons get pressed from Russia, North Korea, China, Iraq, things like that. That's what's coming to America. Not people getting gunned out in the street, people getting put in concentration camps. Of course, that's what happened. But the ultimate judgment on America, TK Babylon, is going to be permanent destruction. Is that it? Yeah, go ahead.
The Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12 and verse 22. Therefore, whereas thou doest chasten us, thou scourgest our enemies 1,000 times more.
That's what's going to happen. The Most High chastened us over the course of thousands of years. Disobeying His
And
command.
what you think about
And
the
in today,
anarchy?
can you be patient, sir? Read that again.
Therefore, whereas thou doest chasten us, thou scourge our enemy 1,000 times more.
Same way the forbearance is being laid out for them, so they're not going to pass judge immediately. 1,000 times more is what happened in the kingdom. We got 5 years captivity in America. They're going to get 1,000 years in the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to get worse treatment, not necessarily sexual deviancy like the white man did, but at the same time, they're going to get beat to a pulp. They're going to give us all their riches, things like that, but we're going to be ruled righteously at that time. You read?
To the intent that when we judge, we shall carefully think of thy goodness. And when we ourselves are judged, we shall look for mercy.
That's our job. Knowing that we're still alive, we're still able to call ourselves Israelites in the last days, knowing what we're going to go through in the future, most of us have mercy on us right now. We're simply knowing the information. That's the time we're supposed to get right. Knowing the information, not forsaking it, not putting it behind our back as some more people do, not having a meltdown, an emotional meltdown, crash out season. That's what we don't agree with the damn white man's doctrine, slave doctrine at that. You see what I'm saying? Like, do it early. Cursing us out because it's not equality, it's not about racism. It's like, no, God's racist. We're allowed to treat other nations differently. Yes.
Right.
We're not going to treat them abominably like the law says, or we can't do, but they are going to be separated from us in certain aspects of our kingdom. Our livelihood, our financial commerce. You know what I'm saying? They can eat abominable foods. Go ahead and do that. You can eat that. You don't have an obligation to God by eating. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, our people have to get right with God.